Hi everybody, Julia Stock, Business Revolutionary with Be Astute. This week we are talking about holistic assessment. It's a phrase that's been around for quite a long time. And it's where we're not just focused on a particular unit, we are focused on spotting all of the different things that we can see across a whole qualification or across a number of qualifications. Holistic assessment is big within apprenticeships, not necessarily big in other programs, which can lead to a lot of repetition. Coming back to what we talked about in C, which was curriculum design, when you are designing your delivery, you are in control of whether or not you're stripping out all of the repetition or whether or not you're living with all the repetition. For learners, they don't tend to like it. I mean, none of us do. It gets very tedious having to answer very similar questions over and over again. Extends your length of stay and doesn't necessarily improve the quality of work. It gets a bit dull answering the same question over and over again. So when we talk about holistic assessment, it is about how we can bundle things up, how we're spotting that question over there is very similar to that one over here and very similar to that one over there. So let's have a delivery plan that actually combines those together, and then have an assessment plan that then combines those things together. In terms of tracking and getting units awarded, can potentially be more tedious. It requires better tracking. But actually, from an assessment perspective, once teams have got their head around it, actually, it's an improved way of working to be able to go, yep, we know that those three questions in those three places are really closely related. I like the answer. Yes, it's covering all three. Boom, thank you very much. In F, we talked about formative assessment, and that's when you are looking and sense checking that work potentially before you're marking a unit. So within your formative assessment, if you've got these three questions bundled together, we can be sense checking. Yep, it looks like you've correctly answered all three of those questions we've bundled together, even though they're slightly different. Great, there's nothing here. Or more commonly, you would identify you've answered 1.1, you've answered 3.1, but here for 5.1, there's an issue. Can you please go and talk about this? Because you haven't quite nailed that. You might not be marking 5.1 for 6 months. That's the point about holistic assessment, is we're potentially setting work that we're not expecting to be completed for some time. But if we're able to give that formative feedback 3, 4, 5, 6 months in advance of when we're planning on marking it, then the learner can fix that up ahead of time, which ultimately then speeds up assessment times and allows learners to come through more smoothly because we've checked it for bugs, we've fixed the bugs. So long term reduces assessor workload. So yeah, it potentially has quite a lot of benefits in terms of speeding things up, smoothing things out. If you would like to talk more about holistic assessment, please do get in touch. But in the meantime, thank you very much.